Hi, it's Jared with Capture the Magic back with another video, and we have a lot of things going on with Epic Universe. Obviously, this park is opening in just a few days, which seems crazy to think about. And between now and this park opening, there's still a lot of things that need to be done and some things that need to be fixed, to be quite frank, about how this park has currently been operating. And not surprising, there is a lot of news revolving around Epic Universe as this park is opening in just a few days. So in this video today, we're going to go through some news stories that are revolving around the grand opening and things leading up into it, as well as a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Epic Universe that Universal came out and announced as well. So we're going to read through some articles here and get some thoughts here. And the first thing we're going to talk about is I had a previous video talking about some permits that were found, about some things going on with the grand opening, and it seems we have confirmation now that the grand opening celebration is going to be happening the day before the park opens on the 21st and not on the actual day of, which is the 22nd. So we have an article from Blog Mickey here. It says Universal Orlando to live stream Epic Universe grand opening celebration. Universal Orlando Resort has announced that they will live stream the grand opening celebration of their newest theme park, Universal Epic Universe, on May 21st. It says, as you may know, Universal Epic Universe will officially open for daily operations on May 22nd. Universal Orlando Resort announced the details via social media, providing a link for guests to sign up to be reminded of the live stream. And here are the details. May 21st, 2025. Obviously a live stream at Epic Universe. And the time of this is blue carpet at 6 p.m. and the celebration begins at 7 p.m. And they said, get ready to join us virtually via live stream from Universal Epic Universe on May 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we step through the portals and celebrate Universal Orlando's newest theme park. And I don't know what blue carpet coverage is. I've never heard of blue carpet, but maybe that's just because it's Epic Universe and they're not doing red carpet. I don't know. So that was some questions I had about this. I was wondering if maybe they would do a grand opening thing the morning of on the 22nd, because on opening day, like, again, we're going to be there, and that day they're not having early park entry, which they have had early park entry for hotel guests even throughout previews, and it's also happening starting on the 23rd but not on the 22nd. So I kind of wondered if they might do some sort of grand opening celebration then, which I suppose they still potentially could do something along those lines with that. But it seems like the official grand opening celebration is going to be just via live stream. I don't believe anybody's going to be able to go to this. I don't know, because we're actually staying at Terra Nova the night before instead of driving up the morning of. So if they are doing something, I'll be right by there to go check it out. But I'd be very curious if it's going to be open to people who are in the area, or if it's just going to be essentially, we know celebrities are going to be there, or at least some of them are supposed to be. So they may just be doing something just for the live streams and not really anything for the general public. And something I will just note from the picture they put out here, there are fireworks in this picture. And this is something that we know they've been testing. So I imagine they're going to have a fireworks show and probably a drone show for the opening ceremony. But are they going to have a fireworks show for, on a nightly basis? I think that's the real question out there, is that if that's going to be an aspect of this. From what I have heard, they may not have a fireworks show the opening day or in just the first opening time period. But again, they are working on some sort of bigger nighttime show to implement at a later date. And then potentially when they introduce that show, the park would be open perhaps until like 11 o'clock or midnight, which I would absolutely love. But we have seen them as well when they first came with the park hours. Epic Universe was only going to be open until 9 o'clock. They've changed that till 10 o'clock all through May once the park opens. And then in June, there's currently 5 dates where it's open till 10 o'clock. So those dates in June could change as well. So it seems like the operating hours are a little bit of a fluid situation there. But I do like to see the fireworks there. And I mean, again, we're going to be staying at Terra Luna. So presumably you should be able to see the fireworks even if they were not able to go to the ceremony itself. And it doesn't say how long the ceremony will be. I would assume maybe like an hour long or something like that. So like I said, unknown if this is going to be anything that people can go to and see, or if it's just going to be just for the cameras or anything else. Or in the opening day morning, is there going to be anything going on there before the park opens? I kind of wonder if there will be some sort of small thing for the opening day, perhaps. But I don't think they're going to do anything major, just because they probably don't want to impede on people's park time, would be my guess. But at least we have an opening day ceremony. It's going to be live streamed. And I might do a live stream of this, reacting to this, or do a video about it, because again, we're staying at Terra Luna. But I don't know how the internet connection will be, and so some of that will be dependent upon that. But I probably will try to go live at some point, maybe show off the fireworks or do a watch along with it or something like that. So I'll see how the internet situation is once we get there, and if I'm able to do that, because sometimes hotel internet is a bit finicky, to say the least. And along with that, that could be part of the opening day celebration, or it could be part of a nighttime celebration they do going forward each night. Universal has been doing some drone testing. So we have this from Theme Park IQ. It says Universal is doing additional drone and lighting tests for their upcoming grand opening show for Epic Universe. Earlier, they were doing speaker testing, which had various Portal music playing. And we'll take a look at this here. So it looks like you got some testing out some of the lighting effects. They look like they're staying in Helios, so you get a pretty good view of all this. That's a great shot right there. You can see, yeah, and there is some other footage people have of different, lighting showcases they're doing at night, testing some things out. Again, this is unknown if it is for the, opening day celebration or if this is for the rumored nighttime show that's going to be introduced after this park opens. That is a rumor out there that they are developing a bigger nighttime show, and they'll be doing lots of testing for that. So we'll have to wait and see when and if they say anything about that, but it could be to do with that. And they also have been testing some drones. This is from Adventuring with Annie. She says drone testing over Epic Universe last night, presumably for the grand opening. And, we know Universal does use drones currently for Sensational. They do a very good job with that. And so it looks like they got some drone testing here. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's crazy what they can do with drones now. And that looks like a portal. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they can do a Chronos in the sky. That looks like some stars. Okay. So obviously some testing. There was some other footage, and I can't find it now, but it was spelling out Epic in the sky. So they're clearly doing something for either the opening day ceremony or some sort of nighttime show on the regular, or both, testing them for both things. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on testing-wise for some sort of entertainment going on in Epic Universe. And speaking of something that could be behind the scenes, NBC, Universal, Comcast, they came out and said there's going to be a 3-park Epic Universe documentary, basically behind the scenes of how the park was built, called Epic Ride. The story of Universal theme parks showcases the beloved park's history and gives a sneak peek at what's new. And this is premiering Thursday, July 24th, in the triple-decker docu-series called The Epic Ride. The story of Universal theme parks showcases the beloved park's storied history and legacy. It says the docuseries also gives an insidery look at the hotly anticipated Epic Universe. It is executive produced by John Marks and John Strong for Universal Television. Alternative studio Epic Ride delivers its own wow moments, just like the Universal theme park celebrates. It says in addition to diving into the past, the docuseries focuses on today and what's new. So from my understanding as well, this is all going to release at the same time on July 24th. So I'm very interested in that, to see what that goes into that and sort of the behind the scenes there. So you can look forward to that. It's going to be on Peacock. We also have a new popcorn bucket that has showed up at Epic Universe. And I probably will end up getting this because I think it would look good on the shelf behind me and get a better look at it. It's $34.99. That's what it looks like right there. And I don't know where the popcorn goes. Probably not. These popcorn buckets, the term popcorn bucket is loosely interpreted. There's always a spot for it, but sometimes it's not very big. It says it's plastic with a golden finish. The front has a transparent window, and Universal Epic Universe is across the window in 3D letters. I mean, it's pretty thick. It's got okay, you can wear it around your neck. So video of it there. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I will probably end up getting that just because kind of a collector's item perhaps. So you can pick that up. I think that's available even now, so that's not necessarily just an opening day thing. So if you are going to be at previews, I think it showed up in the shops the day after we went to our preview date. So they are in there now, I do believe. And also, this is smaller news, but the Universal Orlando app has changed their logo to kind of, I guess, reflect Epic Universe. It's not the blue background now. It's kind of like that space background like Epic Universe. That's been updated. But what really needs to be updated, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with this, as we talked about in another video, but Harry Potter and the Bath Ministry is going to be closed for a week during these previews, presumably to try and fix whatever the issue is with this ride. And there is multiple issues that, I've heard about, being from sensors in the floor and on the seats, to obviously the virtual line system has been very disappointing, to say the least, for people. And from what I'm hearing Universal is aiming to not have virtual line being used on this ride on the opening day. I think that is, from what I have heard, that's the goal. Now, whether or not they can do that or not, I don't know. But I do think this virtual line system, as it currently stands now, being a very frustrating experience and the ride capacity of this ride being very low, that is going to be something that if this isn't working, or if it's been working how it has during the previews, I think a lot of people are going to be pretty disappointed in this ride. So I think Universal's definitely scrambling in these last little bit here to try and get this ride, either, I don't know if they're going to be able to fix it, but get it to where at least the ride capacity is up and maybe not rely on this virtual line system. Because again, I think anything from server issues to the app itself, just the way it's coded, like either way, doesn't work great, isn't a great guest experience, but they may end up having to use it regardless. But hopefully they can make a breakthrough in this week here and get it running better. I'm not expecting it to be fixed by any means, because I don't think you're going to be able to fix a ride like this in just a matter of a week. And really the closest, I guess you could say, situation to this was Rise of the Resistance over in Hollywood Studios at Disney World. That ride had its issues for a very long time, used a virtual queue system for a long time, but eventually they got those issues ironed out. They will also iron out these issues with this ride, and Universal's virtual line system will improve over time as well, because Disney's was also a mess when they first introduced that. So these things will get better. It's just, are they going to be ready for the opening day? And if I'm a betting man, I'm not taking that bet, because that's a lot of things that have to go right in a very short amount of time. But maybe they can pull something out of their hat and have this thing fixed, or at least seemingly running better. I think if it's just running better, that's a win. If there's no virtual line for this and people can just wait in the queue to ride this, even though that queue can hold up to 7 hours worth of people, I think most people would be happier if that was the option versus just a virtual line, because it seems like a virtual lottery. And I know there's people that have tips and things like that, but I think for the most part, it's just kind of a luck of the draw situation. But even if it doesn't have full capacity, but they just say the standby queue is open, your wait may be a long time, I think at least if people have the option to do that, it would probably go over better than having a virtual line system where people don't even get the chance to ride it. Because at the very least, that way, people could walk through the queue, they could check out some things. So maybe that's what they're aiming for, but we will see if they make a breakthrough on this, because, again, that's a lot of things to get fixed in a week. Unless Universal's been playing coy and they've been acting like this ride has issues just to sort of fake out everybody, which I'm going to say they're not doing that because they don't want the negative press out there about this. But, when you think about sort of corporate espionage, maybe they're playing games, but I don't think that's what they're doing. But we'll see if they can get this ironed out and fixed before it opens. I would like to at least go through the queue. I haven't got to do that yet. And perhaps the third time will be the charm, as we'll be there on opening day, that we'll be able to experience some aspect of this ride the third time we go to the park. But again, when it comes to Epic Universe, we're just a few days away from this park opening, and I can only imagine people working for Universal trying to get this park ready are running around with their hair on fire, essentially trying to do everything they can. As I will say, we were just there the other day, and I'm going to do another video, kind of a re-review of what our experience was like on the latest preview we went to. But in terms of a park opening, I mean, it would be interesting to see, and it's really no way to know of how this park is stacking up versus historically theme parks stacking up. And there have been some really bad premieres of theme parks out there. I mean, Disneyland famously was a train wreck. I don't think Islands of Adventure went very well. I've heard people talk about Animal Kingdom back in the day. There was hardly anything to do in that park. So I think maybe historically, this park is probably operating better at this point of a preview before it opens than other theme parks. But again, a theme park that's brand new, it is be completely expected for there to be issues with these rides and things going on as they're still trying to figure this stuff out. So I think the reaction to this is going to be very interesting, especially this is the first time a big theme park like this is open in a social media era, and you have instantaneous feedback, good and bad, from what people think. So that part will be interesting to see. But again, I think undoubtedly, whether or not it has a great grand opening or it has a rough start, this park is still going to be a fantastic park. I think it is a fantastic park, but it's going to be just fine given 6 months to a year as they get a lot of these issues ironed out. A lot of people have been asking, should they go, this summer directly? And, really my honest response is, I would wait and see how things go and maybe give it 3 to 6 months before you really maybe go to look and to go, as they get, again, not only Battle at the Ministry, but some of these other rides and issues kind of ironed out before you spend the money to go. So that's what I would say in the situation. But going opening day, I'm not expecting I'm not going to go in really expecting much. Again, I mean, it'd be my third time going to the park. I'm not going to go in with the highest of expectations that everything's going to be running correctly. I imagine things are going to go down periodically, pretty regularly. It's probably going to be very, very crowded, considering it's going to be more than double the crowd that was there when I was there in the latest preview. So it's going to be slammed. Got a lot more people in this park. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. But I do plan on vlogging it. I may try and go live as well on the opening day also, just to kind of give a tour of the park, look like, what it looks like, how busy it is, and what's the status, everything like that. But as of now, that's everything going on with Epic Universe that I am aware of as we get closer to this park opening. And if anything else changes or any news breaks, we will talk about it on here and let you know about it. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about all this? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.